There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Rock Player Show. Uh, it's been a crazy week. So, of course, I had to bring Ray and SPG on to talk about it. Hello, guys.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Hello.
good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah,
Thanks for
how
the
you doing?
invite.
What have you been playing this week, guys? Anything
I
else
played
than?
Remnant. I played, of course, BG3.
Yeah,
I started playing Remnant 2, which is actually pretty good. It's hard, but pretty good. And then a lot of Marvel Snap. Played a lot of Marvel Snap.
nice. What about the SPG?
Just BG3, man. I've got 50 out of 53 achievements.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been
I'm
hammering it. I've been
yeah.
hammering it. The hardest one was rescuing every tiefling in the game. That was so hard.
Did you manage to do it?
Yeah, but it's easier than it sounds. It's easier
Okay,
than it
okay.
sounds. But it's still like a little complicated though.
Yeah, it's still effort.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, no, I've been playing a little bit of Baldur's Gate, but I haven't had that much time to play at all. So it's been pretty much just a little bit of Baldur's Gate and some Pokemon Go. That's it. Um, which is annoying because I have like a massive list of games I want to play. I have a massive list of games I should play because I have like review codes for things that I need to sit down and spend time on. But yeah, nothing so far. It's been one of those weeks. Hopefully, I can play a little bit more next week. Um, but yeah. So, did any of you guys catch anything from Gamescom, like the opening night live or something?
Ye- I saw the opening show. I'm glad that Jeff didn't get hurt by the lunatic that jumped on stage at the
Oh,
very
the
beginning of the
GTA
show.
6 enthusiast.
Yeah, it's like I was like, oh my god. But no, I seen, what is it? Killing Floor 3.
Yeah.
Uh, that looked interesting. Little Nightmares 3.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, Little Nightmares 3. So yeah, they got
it's
some
got a
really cool
hell of an
stuff.
art design. Hell of an art
Yeah,
Yeah,
design.
it
they're
does.
really good at it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think Purple showed me Ninja on Hear Me Out a couple of months ago. A track from the soundtrack of I think Little Nightmares 2. Damn good music as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
And any of those games, man, that has that dripping with atmosphere like feeling.
yeah,
I really love that stuff. And Little Nightmares 2 surprised the hell out of me. It was cool.
yeah. So looking forward to the number 3 then, I guess. Um,
Looking forward to it. Looking
yeah.
forward to it.
But yeah, there's been a ton of news. So I say let's just get into it, right?
Oh
Or
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Do the news.
let's do the
Yeah.
news. Yes. So yeah, first off, big news from GFN in terms of we finally have some fruition from the Xbox and GFN partnership, other than them releasing the Steam games. The fact that we can now play Game Pass games on GeForce Now. Not all of them,
Wow.
and I couldn't play them at all because I had some technical issue. But I'm sure that's just a rollout thing, and it'll be sorted out before long. But yeah, select PC Game Pass titles now available. So if you have a Game Pass PC or Game Pass Ultimate, you now can play a list of games on
Yeah.
GFN.
I got into Gears 5. If I rolled my mouse over, there was games that is offline. So and there's a little thing that says maintenance work. So they are doing maintenance work with
Yeah, and they
Texas
had some hot fix they
and
had to add as
Fortnite.
well with games
Yeah.
crashing on startup and things. So it's like
Yep.
it's bound to be some early issues. But let's just take a look at the list because we have Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, Valheim, Trackmania, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the brand new game that just dropped last week on the DFN.
Yep. I actually got into that game, so that one's
Yeah, and now
working.
you can use your Game Pass sub.
Yeah.
Stellaris, one of my absolute favorites. If you haven't played that before, you definitely should because it's bloody amazing. A bit of a different game from what most people otherwise play, I'm sure, but definitely worth a look if you like sci-fi. Shadowrun, Dragonfall, Quake, Pentiment, No Man's Sky, Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord, another one that I can't stress enough how bloody amazing it is. Definitely worth checking out. Grounded, Gears 5, Doom 2016, Deathloop, Dead Cells, Crusader Kings 3, Age of Empires 1, 3, and 4. So not the best one, but the others. I'm guessing number 2 is coming soon. And then some other new releases joining: WrestleQuest, Jump Light Odyssey, Blasphemous 2, and Ride 5. What do you think about the initial list?
I,
Go ahead.
no, I was
SPG.
going to say I think it's pretty good. I have a question though. How
Yep.
do these games actually work when you boot them up and stuff? Are you able to get like if you're paying for the ultimate tier, are you able to turn up all the settings to 4080 quality and experience that? How does this exactly work?
Basically, what you like, it's the Microsoft Store versions, or like the Xbox app versions, and like if you have a Game Pass PC or Game Pass Ultimate, or own them on the Microsoft Store, it works just as a normal, like, if it was a PC game from Steam. The only thing is you have to manually sign into your Microsoft account every single time for now. I'm sure that's something that will be built away over time, but as a initial launch, they didn't fix that thing. So yeah, you can play it, and yeah, Ashes confirmed you can play it, max
Oh,
everything
that's
out
awesome.
for the 480. So
That's
yeah,
awesome, Ashes. Yeah.
When I got
Well, I
into
think
Gears,
that's
Gears looked amazing. Gears 5 looked amazing.
I just think that's very compelling for people that have been playing on Xbox to possibly jump over and check out, the higher fidelity.
yeah.
I think that'll turn a whole lot of people onto GFN. To be honest,
Yeah, and I mean, also, like, it's also one of those, like, for example, Age of Empires for me. Like, I love the fact that they are on Game Pass. Like, I Age of Empires 2 was such a definitive part of my childhood, so that to be able to go back and play it again is amazing. But like, I can't really run it on my PC, so because it's that old, I can't run the definitive edition of Age of Empires 2 on it. And like the one streamed from xCloud, that's just the console edition, and I don't want to like buy it because I have it through Game Pass. So to just be able to play it through here is going to be amazing. And as Ashes points out, when Starfield drops on Game Pass, like, for someone, like, the value proposition of, like, do you want to play, like, if you don't have a good way to play Starfield as is, like, do you get Game Pass for 10 bucks and GFN Ultimate for 15, and then you can play it for a month at max graphics, or do you go like the lower tiers, or you can just skip GFN and play the Xbox version on XCloud as well. But I mean, GFN is also always better than XCloud, I think, in the
I
end of
think a
them.
more I think a more interesting question is when is it going to arrive? And
Yeah, like,
is it going to be relevant when it does? If it doesn't come day and date, I think that's going to
I
be
think
an
it has
issue.
to come day and date. I think, like, I
It's
think
going to be an
for,
issue. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I would
like,
love for it to
I
come day
think
and date. I would,
I think
but that,
from Microsoft standpoint, you like, it is the biggest release in Xbox history. I think that was at least it might be one of the biggest, if not the biggest. So, like, if that's not day and date, they are
well,
losing out on potential Game Pass
no,
subs and
bro.
sales. So.
I completely
So I think they
1,000%
really
agree
want
with
to
you.
do it day and date. Like, there could be some issue where, like, technical issue, it goes like doesn't drop until like a day or two after, and that's fine, but not ideal. But I
Well,
don't
I'm
think it
just
would be
saying
like
it's
one of those, like, I don't think it will drop a couple of weeks or months after. I think we'll be very close
well,
to day date, if not day date.
Starfield's really close, and they haven't said anything.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they don't want to say anything until they know for sure.
Gotcha.
Um,
But it would be wonderful for them day and date, as Ashes was alluding to, that they can use that higher tier, turn up all the settings. They're going to love the higher frame
yeah,
rate. A lot of Xbox users are going to end up getting Ultimate tier, I'm sure,
yeah. I think
because it is incredible.
Yeah, I think that the timing of this release is probably due to Starfield. I think they want to get it out, like, get the integration and
That makes
out
sense.
ahead of time as a test bed, basically. Like, let's
Get some bugs kinked out.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, just get it out now, find all the bugs in, like, over this week and next week, fix them, and then the week after that, Starfield releases and everything should be fine and great. Um, I think that's the goal, and I'm down for it.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's and then, I mean, there was more news than that. They also announced that DFN will have it, Alan Wake 2 day and date, Phantom Liberty expansion, of course, Party Animals, and Payday 3. And I think Party Animals and Payday 3 are both Game Pass day one, so it would be interesting to see if they get just the Steam edition, or also the Xbox One.
Wow.
I mean, Kawa, if you get Ultimate and for both, then yeah, sure, you would end up with about $30 a month. But you could just go PC Game Pass and just priority tier for 20 a month, and that's probably more worth it. I mean, at like for $20 a month, you can try the PC experience of Starfield, and see if you like it. And that's a pretty fair deal for $20, I think, for a brand new like high profile game like that. Um, so I think it's a fair value proposition. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you too many subscriptions add up, so it's always something to be mindful of. But yeah, so and they also have their whole um, competition until next month, where you can wins prizes with the GFN and Kovacs Challenge. And I think we talked about that last week as well. So yeah, I think that's probably it from GFM for this week. It's a great week for them, I gotta say.
Well, and I mean, in the fall, the upcoming games, these AAA games coming out, Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Alan Wake coming out. They got the Cyberpunk, uh, Phantom Liberty. I mean, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
and it's also like if I like looking at this list and the list of the last like 3 or 4 weeks, so it's been like something like 15 to 20 games added to GFN. Like it's been twice the amount that we usually get for quite a while. So it feels like they have increased the team and improved their processes to onboard games. So I wouldn't be surprised if we keep seeing like 20 games added every week from now on. I mean, they might bring it down over time, but I think we'll keep being this many for quite a while. And
Keep it up, keep it
yeah,
going.
so yeah, keep it up, GFN. This is awesome. And yeah, and just to mention, just show you guys, if you go into the settings, you cannot see Xbox over here yet, but I think it will be added here quite soon. When you can like sync your account, you can't. Currently, it's just one of the. So currently, it's quite kind of like the EA or Good Old Games integration. You just you start the game and then you log in and then you can play it. But I think it's going to be improved over time. Now for some Amazon Luna news. It's been a while since we had one of those, right?
Yes, it has.
If you have an LG TV, select LG smart TVs and smart devices now have Amazon Luna, which is great. I'm still hoping for a new country launch, but they've been very slow at that. I then told them like, "Hey, what's happening with this?" And they told me to send in as feedback to them, and I told them back that I've already said this face to face to the head of Amazon Web Services for my region. So if that's not gonna do it, then I don't know what will. So yeah, come on, Luna, bring it. Like it feels like they are still doing things with it. They're not giving up on it, but they're not really doing much. It feels like how many developers do you think they have on Luna, like working at Amazon and making Luna better?
I just don't understand. But they have Amazon games,
Yeah.
and and
Bro, I think you
I
would
just
be shocked. I think they have 3 Roombas that drive between rooms, reset out modems, and come back to their
Yeah.
resting spot. You'd be surprised probably on the infrastructure. We don't have numbers, and I think that's the most important thing. If we knew how many people were actually playing it and using the service, we'd have a much better idea of what kind of staff they'd have to do it. I'm sure there'd be better
Yeah.
I mean,
educated.
I
Feels like a very
I,
bad one.
I still I have my account since day one. I have my controller. Um, and so, but you know what? I am happy that Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming on here, so
Yeah.
maybe I will play it on my Luna account.
And plenty of other games coming as well,
Well,
which I
Yes.
think we'll get into in a minute.
it's not all doom and gloom. They helped us Stadia players have a place to play Ubisoft games right away, and I thank them for that. But without the numbers, it's just so hard to figure out, what kind of staff they'd have to have. But sadly, cloud gaming, besides the fidelity you get from GFN, cloud gaming's kind of at a whimper right now, sadly. And it's not just because I had to buy hardware after Stadia died, but I want cloud to succeed. I want to play all this stuff with the highest fidelity in the cloud. It can be done.
Yeah, definitely.
But GFN's killing it right now in that area, but they're not their own service. You can't just go and buy games from them. It's not like it was on Stadia, to where all games could be played together, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I played BG3 on GFN and it worked like superb. It worked really, really good. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, you were playing with the 4080, correct?
Yes, I was, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. And we'll get more into Luna in a bit, because there's another piece of news that let's do it now, because there's another piece of news that in extension means Luna will see a lot of more games quite soon, which is the fact that Ubisoft have managed to strike a deal with Microsoft that all Activision Blizzard games are coming to Ubisoft Plus. So if you have Ubisoft Plus, that will also include all of Call of Duty and Crash Bandicoot and all of the Activision Blizzard games. But also, Microsoft is basically saying that after the closing of the acquisition, for the next 15 years and rolling on a year-by-year basis after that, unless it's extended or cancelled, Ubisoft will be the owners of all cloud gaming licenses of Activision Blizzard. Meaning that they, if Microsoft wants to put Activision Blizzard games on xCloud, they have to license it from Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes as a response to the CMA basically saying, no, you're not allowed to.
But that's only for 15 years.
Yeah, but 15 years in this industry, dude. Like, come on, like that's.
No, I understand that. But,
and it is in perpetuity.
But this is a concession. This is basically a concession. They're going to take that concession back as soon as they can. That's what corporations do.
Unless it works out great for them, and then they might keep it around. But like, it's in 15 years and perpetuity afterwards on a rolling.
Well, let's say
contract.
Ubisoft does a really good job and earns a bunch of revenue, and they get a cut. They're going to want all that revenue.
Yeah, unless they find some other ways to sweeten the deal between them and keep the relationship going. But yeah, probably they will. But yeah, so that basically means if you have Ubisoft Plus on PC, you will have Activision Blizzard games on the PC, on your in Ubisoft client. You will, if you have multi-access, you will get all of the Activision Blizzard games on Amazon Luna. So basically, this means Luna gets all of the Activision Blizzard games, which they weren't before, but only if you have Ubisoft Plus, which isn't a bad deal at all. Like that, it basically means you doubles the value and size of Ubisoft Plus overnight, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I agree. Actually, I also think they will be everything will be on Game Pass. Microsoft for sure will buy that license from Ubisoft, put them on there, and probably at a discount. Yeah, and it also means that the Ubisoft are allowed to basically require Activision Blizzard to help to make ports for like Linux if they want to run it on non-Windows based cloud services like Stadia would have been. I think it says that it might be a small fee to that for them to just Ubisoft would pay the salaries for the porting team, but like they can say if they want a non-Windows version built for cloud, they can say we need that. Here's the money to do it. Fix it now. And yeah, what do you think about this?
You want to tackle it, SPG?
Well, I think it's good for Luna if that's going to be where you're going to be able to play the stuff. What is Ubisoft's service? Now, I remember back in the day there was a whole bunch of discussions that Ubisoft was going to create their own cloud gaming whatever.
Yeah, that is also a rumor that's been floating around for quite a while.
I wonder if this is part of that. Because it'd be funny for them to do this deal and then put it just on Luna. That would be
that would be
crazy.
very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think they have a. So I mean, Ubisoft Plus is basically a subscription. I mean, it's like $15 if you want a month, if you want it as it is, and then another. Hang on,
like when Stadia was shutting down, it was a thought that they might white label the service to keep.
Yeah, that's been floating around for forever.
Yeah.
Google's been shutting that down, those rumors down, though, saying like, no, we're not doing anything with that. So basically, you have two tiers.
I'll say this, but just real quick on the Stadia thing.
Yep.
They were right on the verge of doing something very different. Anyway, when the AV1 codec came out, like you can get so much. Like it would take so much bandwidth before to do 4K and all that stuff, and then it like halved it. Like it would have been really cool, I think, if they would have been able to incorporate that before shutting down.
I still have my Luna account because you got games like Star Wars Outlaw coming out. You got Avatar, so those are the games that I'm actually going to play on my Luna account, and I have Ubisoft PC. I have Ubisoft. I play it on the console, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So basically, the way it works is like you either pay $15 a month or you pay $20 a month. The 15 gives you the ultimate, like the ultimate editions of all of the entire Ubisoft library and some other games as well on PC through the Ubisoft Connect client. So you get the premium editions. It's day and date with all of Ubisoft games, indie games added monthly, and also you get 1 to 4 like rewards, they call it, which is basically, hey, this month you can pick between these 4 like in-app purchase things. Like, oh, you can get a skin for Far Cry 4, or you can get a things like that. The multi-access gives you the same, but also access to playing the games on Luna, as well as on Xbox. There is also rumors that it's coming to PlayStation sometime soon. So it's kind of like EA Play, but more expensive.
You got to throw me a bone. What are those prices in dollar?
I think so. 15 and I think 18, 19ish maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I technically have a multi-access plan, but I pay the same as the PC only plan because I grandfather plan from before they launched the other one, which is kind of nice. I'm just sticking to that, even though I rarely use it. But yeah, it's like if you enjoy the games that Ubisoft have, it's not a bad deal at all. It's a pretty sweet deal. Like you get, like if we ignore the coming soon ones, you get like everything from the new Settlers, Rainbow Six, Rabbids, Far Cry, Anno, Riders Republic, all the Assassin's Creed games, and it's the ultimate editions of all of it. But also a lot of old Ubisoft stuff, like Here's Your Mighty Magic, which is definitely great. But yeah, and then obviously like Motorfest coming soon, Mirage coming soon, Avatar coming soon, Prince of Persia coming soon, Skull and Bones coming sometime, maybe, who knows, probably not. So it's a pretty sweet deal, but it's a pricey plan. Like it's not like it is up there on the quite high tiers, but considering you get the deluxe editions, I think it's pretty fair.
I mean, I don't have as long as I don't have to pay money for Skull and Bones, I'm gonna give it a try.
Same. It's like, what? Since I have Ubisoft Plus anyway, I'm gonna try all of them out. And if I don't like them, I won't play them again. If I like them, that's awesome.
Yeah, bah humbug on Skull and Bones. I really want a substantial pirate adventure where you have really cool naval battles and stuff like that. Sadly, that game I don't think is marketed towards me, and that's okay.
Yeah. So Ubisoft Plus is a sweet deal. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely worth checking out if you like their games, basically. But yeah, so that will also include all of Activision Blizzard's games in the future. And yeah, as Rokk points out, Skull and Bones beta tomorrow, and I
Mhm.
don't think there is an embargo on it. So like, if you're in the beta, I think you can stream it. I wish I had time to, but I don't. Uh, Moving on then, some news from BioWare, and not good news at that. BioWare has announced that they are laying off about 50 people with the argument that they need to be able to stay agile and meet the future head on. So approximately 50 roles at BioWare will be eliminated. Eliminated. And like I've seen, there's a lot of people who's like worked a lot at like senior writers on Dragon Age has been there from the very first Dragon Age game. Have been laid off in the middle of them working on a new sequel. It's
Bro, I've
yeah,
loved
not
Dragon
looking good.
Age 1, 2, and 3. Um,
Yeah, I loved one. I liked three. Two was okay.
well, I mean, I'm just a big single
Yeah,
player RPG guy, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that they were very different. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah,
I enjoyed them.
but great games. Great games nonetheless. Ah, look who it is.
Aha!
Boom.
A little Rokk fell into the. I've just popped in to say hello, fellas, because as soon as the wife knocks on the door and says, "Oi, in bed," then got to get going. Haven't you?
Right. Yeah.
I feel you, but welcome, man.
Yep. Yep. Good to have you here.
So, who like it's always not fun to see people shut down positions like this, and especially like a studio like BioWare, who are beloved but have not had a great last couple of years. So I'm hoping, like, best of luck for all the people who has lost their job, but also I sincerely hope that BioWare can recover from it, because it's not looking good right now. Moving on, another big story. Yeah, it's now official. It's called the PlayStation Portal. It's so far still only a remote player with no Bluetooth capabilities, and it's $200. What do you think? You gonna pick it up, or is it dead in the water?
Well, me having a PlayStation. I mean, I honestly, I do have a PS5, but I do remote play on my PC and my phone.
Yeah, same.
So, um,
It's
if it had cloud, if it had something like cloud enable, if it had Bluetooth, if it had some other things, it would. I don't know. It would. I would probably change my mind for the price, but. I'm probably gonna have to say a no because I had the Wii. I had the Wii U. I remember playing the Wii U, and I would use the tablet, and I would just sit there and I would play it. But now, I mean, I like the phone. I actually could do it on my phone, and I have a
yeah,
tablet. So
yeah. I mean, you could
yeah,
connect your DualShock to your tablet and just have a kickstand on it, and it would be basically
as
the
soon
same.
as as soon
Like,
as I mean,
I
that's what
don't I don't I don't have a personal use case for this device, but nor do I have a PS5, so why would I? But
yeah,
I could imagine that some people would have a use case. For one, it would probably look nice sitting next to your PS5, like match it, you know what I mean? That could be cool, but the two possibilities I see with this thing is taking it to the restroom and watching TV and giving it to your kid because the PlayStation's connected to the TV. Now they can play it on the handheld while you
yeah.
continue watching the nice TV you have,
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a more ergonomic solution to a tablet and a kickstand, but at the same time, like, I mean, because at the end of the day, like, Sony is good at making like ergonomic devices that are really good, but at the same time, this thing has so much speaking against it. I mean, obviously, to use it, your PS5 needs to be on and connected. Um, and I mean, the screen looks nice. It's an 8-inch 1080p screen.
If this was the launch of remote play, I would go, wow, look
Yeah,
at this. But it's not.
yeah,
We've
and
had
then we
remote
have
play for a long time.
the
yeah, and then we have
headphones,
this
man. Don't
the
forget the
next
headphones,
thing.
man. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
because since it doesn't have like it has 3.5 millimeter audio jack, but it doesn't have any Bluetooth, meaning that the only way to have wireless audio is to buy their proprietary headphones. They cost another $200. And you can't play
So
video games. So
Plus, you could just put PS Remote app on your Chromebook.
Yeah.
I mean, can I sideload some stuff on it? If I can, if somebody can hack on here,
I think you will be able to down the line, based on the fact that like we've seen early leaks where it seems that it's running Android in on the back end, but it's a custom Android with like it launches straight into this remote play thing app. Like there's no like what, so I'm guessing you will be able to hack it into running as a normal tablet, but like that's just a guess, and like. Yeah, games that are streamed through PlayStation Plus Premium cloud streaming are not supported. If they just left this out and say that we're gonna, or even said we're going to add that at a later date, it would have been a completely different thing. Still, weird, but
I would not be shocked if Sony locks this thing down tighter than a snare drum.
But I have to.
For no reason.
Cowboys got a comment in the chat, and I have to say I do agree with them. They did sell a lot of PS5s worldwide, and so if you are a PS5 owner, and I mean a lot of PS5 owners might get this. Somebody that doesn't have a PS5, I don't see what. I mean, how could you? You have to have a PS5.
Yeah.
So the whole extra $200. So when people are saying, well, it's only $250, well, technically, no, you got to buy the other stuff with it. So
like if it was 200, like at the price range that it's at, and with the feature set it has.
No, right.
I would every day of the week just buy a Kishi or Backbone for your phone and use that.
Yeah, Cowboy says this device target audience is for people who already use the PS5 Remote Play. That's my point. They're already using it on other devices that they already own, that they already got.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's I think it's probably not going to sell nearly as well as they hope. But I think
it's almost like it's a proof of concept. Yeah, somebody sat and said, "Wouldn't it be really cool if you could shove a screen in the middle of a controller?" Because I genuinely do not see the use case for this. There's nothing that you can do with this that you can't do already.
You know what I think it is? I think it is very much Sony saying, we need to put out some new hardware to appease the the investors. We can't just put out we did the controller. We have some new headphones, but we need something more to really show that we are the Apple of video games. Someone put it out.
Winstar makes an interesting point though. What Wi-Fi technology is going to be in that thing compared to other devices that do flake out during remote play? If you've got an older tablet, you might be stuck at 2.4G or something, and it ain't going to work very good. So he's got an interesting point there. He does.
Here you go. Here's my portal right here in my hand. This is my portal right here in my hand.
Exactly. You got to be careful. Yeah. You got to be careful holding on to your portal
for another point of view on this.
So I'm gonna help you guys out. All right. So listen, check it out. I use remote play a lot. So you guys already know I got a big screen. My phone is already 7.6 inches. I got I think the best mobile controller, right, is the MGX Pro. Why would I want this, right? Why? SPG. Why would I could do it already, right? But why I would want it? One, it's going to do everything I could do, but better, right? So the screen is bigger. The screen is 8 inches. Now, my 7.6 inch screen, it has a letterbox, so it cuts it off. So I'm really not getting 7.6 inches. So I'm going to be able to get this thing and have this huge 8-inch screen, and it's going to have the full features of a DualSense controller. So, for instance, I was playing a game before, and with the DualSense, when you get close to something, you got to find the controller vibrates. But with my controller, it couldn't do that. So I was like, oh man. So, and then it was a sound that plays, right? So your PlayStation controller has like the speaker and the sounds come through. So the cool thing is, this is going to be like using a dedicated PlayStation controller with a huge screen. For me, that's pretty cool. Now, I wouldn't care to take it out the house, right? That was my point when the Steam Deck was coming out, and I said I feel like with a phone and a mobile controller, Stadia is better, because once you walk out the house, the thing pretty much is done unless you can get Wi-Fi. But just to have a thing that big with the PlayStation features, like next to my bed. So when I'm watching wrestling, I could just grab it and play like I do now. It'd just be better than what I have. I could still do what I have, but it's just gonna be better than what I have.
Yeah,
Well,
And
but at the same
but
time, like,
and if you don't again, this is my point with target audience. A lot of times people are quick to say it won't sell this and that. Then that just means you're not the target audience. That's fine. These
true, but
companies
at the
pay
same time,
millions
like,
of
the
dollars.
value proposition in it, because I
Uh-huh.
mean, $200 is still quite a lot of money. Like that's several games.
Well, Cowboy
Like-
kept mentioning inches. So if I mention the motion of the ocean, is that defensive? Does that sound defensive? No, man. I get what you're saying though. Somebody that owns a PS5, you know, it might look good sitting under their screen. They might have a larger screen with it, but somebody that's got an iPad or an Android tablet that's a 12-inch, it can't compete with that. Especially if
Chromebook.
No, it can.
Yeah,
It can.
or
No, it
Chromebook.
can. I just told you how it can. So, for instance, if you got an iPad, bigger screen, cool. I get you. It's not gonna still have all the features of the
You can
controller.
just
Now,
pair your, no, but you
now-
can pair your DualSense to it.
You can
yeah,
still
but
do
then
it.
but then you're see, and then that's the thing. So when we think about portable, right? If the screen's that much bigger, if you got up to go to the other room, you're gonna have to hold the thing. You're gonna hold your controller. It's not gonna be the same.
Well, here's
Yeah.
something Ray said. Ray said he'd have more use out of it if he could sideload apps. But let me tell you what would happen.
Right.
Sony's going to lock it down, and they're going to resell you movies, and they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
like you're not going to. I doubt you're going to be able to use your own stuff, your own content. You're going to have to rebuy the stuff. I'm sure, unless you can sign
Yeah.
into Google.
Yeah,
Play
Sony-
Movies. You know, I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
ways you could
out
take
of
it on the
every
go
company-
and make it worthwhile to even have it, to take it with you.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's-
here's the
it's
thing,
an
most
Apple- like, it
devices-
is very much an
Oh.
Apple move, because it is one of those, like, just as Apple releases a product and then charges a lot of money for it, and where the use case is quite small, like the new VR headset from Apple, like it's super expensive. Like, it is probably going to be a great VR headset, but the use case, like the people, like the target audience is so small.
Right.
For the like, it's kind of like, yes, like you might like I have something that can do basically the same thing, slightly worse. Is it worth spending $200 to get it a slightly better experience? Probably not. For a
Well,
lot of for most,
here's
for most
the
of the
thing,
target
though.
audience. Like, you gotta have. There's
Yeah, I
targeting
think the thing is
people
this,
who have
right?
way too much money, and that's a very small segment.
Yeah,
It's
here's
not
the
gonna
thing.
earn them any money.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, for instance, right? I'm an early adopter. I bought this folding phone, $2,000 day one, right? I get consoles day one, right? So it's, again, when people criticize, it's just not for you, because there's a lot of people that's going to spend $200. I said if it was $250 or less, I'll get it. It's $50 less than what I wanted to pay. So that's the thing. I get it. If you think it's too expensive, guess what? It wasn't made for you. It's made for somebody else. That's all.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's criticizing for the pure point of criticizing. I mean, I'm a massive PlayStation user, you know that. And I look at everything as to where's that going to fit into my life. I
Right.
can't see the hole this fills for me.
I think that's just it. Just like
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, it's a product for the super fans, and it's a product to appease investors.
I mean, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd love to have it just because it looks amazing, but I know it would never get used.
Yeah, and I think, like, and that's why I say its main purpose is to show investors that they are still innovating in the hardware space of gaming, and are still putting out new stuff regularly to bring it, because that's what the investors are there for.
I
And
just
then they
think
will-
the shame is because you've got, for example,
And you got-
William's about to go in and have an operation. God bless you, my friend. And, you know, I could see someone like William thinking, I'm going to be laid up for days, weeks, whatever. It'd be great to have a device like this, if I had a PlayStation, you know, that I can just... But it doesn't let you do that. And it doesn't even let you play the PlayStation games away from, you know, being at home, which is, I think, the real shame.
Rokk, to answer.
Yeah,
I'm
you just
pretty
gotta,
sure
you just gotta
make
have
your
Wi-Fi.
PS5
If you got
with,
Wi-Fi, Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just all about use case.
No, yeah, you just gotta have Wi-Fi. If you got Wi-Fi, then you can play it wherever you want.
What,
I
you
think
can, what,
Cowboy
down
did it.
down at Starbucks?
Can you do remote?
If you got
play
if the Wi-Fi at Starbucks is good enough,
across any network? That's basically what he's asking. Can you do remote
Yeah.
play?
yeah, across any network. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So,
can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't have
Yes,
to be
I
at
go to
home.
my. I'm
All
going
right.
on mother.
No.
I'm-
You don't need to be.
Yeah,
on
no,
site.
I'm going to my mother-in-law's house this weekend. I will be playing on my PlayStation
Gotcha.
with my
And
phone and my controller.
yeah, and with
Gotcha.
your phone, and you can wake your PS5 if it's in rest mode, but not if
Okay.
power
Or you
off.
can spend
Right.
$200 and do it with a controller tap
Or a
strap.
Yeah,
Chromebook.
it's just one of those.
Hey,
I think
listen, even better.
the price for what it is great. Like if you're a massive PlayStation fan, don't have a good solution for remote play. This is not a bad deal
So
for that.
Uh,
But it's
I
just one of
don't.
those
I don't
where,
even think.
you have
if you
family.
do have
you have
it,
family. Do you ever have a situation where you want to use the TV for something and they want to play the PlayStation, or is that your PlayStation? No one else actually plays it.
it's basically
Yeah, this is
my
my
kids.
PlayStation.
For me, it's the other way around. It's like the whole family's PlayStation, and I rarely use it because it's being used by the kids regularly. But whenever it's like, oh, and now I have time to play games, it's like, do I want to like sit and hog the TV, or do I just want to bring up my phone and or sit with my PC and play something else? Like there's so many like and I mean at that point, if I'm in the couch and I don't want to hog the TV, then I might as well use my Kishi and remote play. Like that's perfectly fine. I
Right.
don't need anything else. This wouldn't change anything for me at all, basically.
All it would do is what you already do, but better. That's it.
Yeah, and for $200, I would rather spend those $200 towards something else.
Yeah.
I will never, like I said, there's all different types of consumers with different preference. I would never knock anybody to get this. It's just
same.
something. It's just something like Dr. Spaceman. I know he's a huge PlayStation guy. This is something because he's an enthusiast. Like you got to also understand, there's people that are diehard PlayStation guys. I can see them. This is what this is marketing. I can see those type of guys getting this. But just like for me, I mean, I already, I got something.
He said a hard. I didn't think it's the hardcore fan. I just like mobile, right? So
Sorry, man, you're breaking up completely. We can't hear you. But yeah, and no, Miss Phoenix, you can't. See Ash's answer, you, but still, one good point to bring up. You can't use the portal if someone else is using the PlayStation. Which is
if you want to be able to play your games, and like I said, if I'm sitting in a bed with my wife and watching wrestling, we sometimes don't pay attention to the matches. So then I'm usually just playing my games. But this is just being able to do what I already do, but better. That's all.
Yeah, but you keep saying better, and what are you measuring exactly?
And now your mama.
Are you measuring the Wi-Fi? What are you measuring? Saying it's better?
I mean, I see what it means. Because I mean, you get the like the
Dedicated
bigger screen,
that.
more ergonomic, with the like DualSense features built in. But that's,
you don't have to connect anything. You don't. It's just
okay. But I mean, the lack of Bluetooth, and you have to buy the $200 wireless headphones that's specifically built for this. If you want to have wireless headphones, that's another.
But you could just plug in a 3.5 mil jack headset.
I'll be honest with you, I don't own any anymore.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I'll tell you what.
I have like 4 different pair of Bluetooth headphones. I don't have any 3.5 millimeters
Surely
anymore.
pay $7 and shove it in the hole.
You know what it is, man? Like back in the day, that was the thing. Just plug it in the little hole. You know?
Bro,
now it's like,
but at this point, I hate having a cord going through up to my ears.
Talking about back in the day, man, I would love to write a love song to the PSP. The PSP was so around before tablets. Yeah. Like you could have your videos on the go. You had to jank around with getting a big enough memory card.
I was so jealous of everyone else having one.
Yeah, dude, it was an amazing experience. The games looked really good.
Yeah.
It was like it was a perfect multimedia device on the go. It really was, and I'm sad to say I don't think this is gonna. This is nothing like that, like the PSP was.
Yeah, no.
But the PSP was amazing.
It was innovative. This isn't innovative. I mean, no disrespect. I love PlayStation, but this is not innovative. It's just taking 2 bits of existing tech and bolting it together and saying, here you go, is another screen, so you don't have to buy a controller or a screen.
Yeah. I think it's hard. But let's take a look at another handheld that's technically not announced but heavily leaked earlier this week. The Lenovo Legion Go, which we've seen some renders of.
I have not seen the specs. What are they using? Is it a ROG clone?
It seems to be a ROG clone, but with a lot more, like with a mouse wheel and more, like a lot more buttons, a built-in kickstand.
Well, if it's not more RAM or or a different chipset. I don't know. Like
And it seems
Yeah.
to be detachable controllers, so basically like a Wii with like Wii meets a Rokk Ally, but with a mouse wheel and a trackpad. I'm very interested in this one. I think this could be a very interesting device.
that might interest Switch users. It looks like you can use it.
Yeah, and
Kind of like
even has a
Switch,
mouse sensor on the right controller, left controller. I mean, and dual USB-C ports, possibly a gyro switch mode. But yeah, it's like it has, I think.
That guy was having a really good time.
Oh yeah,
We go back and see that one more time.
yeah. So this guy, there are rumored to be AR glasses to go along with it.
Wow.
There we go. Now they have the right ant in.
He needs a scarf trailing behind his head on an old bike.
Yeah. But let's take a look at actually the amount of buttons on this thing. Apart from your usual ones, that you have the trackpad, the Legion L and Legion R, and then you have the right button, the right trigger, then M1, M2, M3, Y3, and then Y1, Y2 as well.
Wow.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra buttons, a trackpad, no, 7, 8 extra buttons, a trackpad, and a mouse wheel. That's quite a lot. You can do some mad customization with that. I think this might and the controllers are detachable. I'm interested. Obviously, we have no idea about the price yet.
No. Have they said what the hardware's going to be?
I think the rumor is that it's going basically a copy paste of hardware specs of the Ally.
Wow.
The pricing is the big thing. Like if it's more expensive than the Ally, it has no chance at all. Even if it has more buttons.
I think that is the most powerful architecture out right now.
Yeah, it's the best one for this kind of device. If it's cheaper than the Ally, I think that's where the real things
that would be interesting.
That would shake things up. But I think it will be probably the same price. Might even be more expensive due to the extra features and extra buttons and mouse wheel and stuff, and detachability of the controllers.
I do like the idea of the detachable controllers, though.
Yeah,
with a little kickstand. I think that's quite cute.
Yeah, and like the mouse wheel and trackpad and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like for me, as someone who loves playing PC games and strategy games and mouse and keyboard stuff like that, like playing something like Stellaris on this would be miles better than playing it on the Ally.
Interesting. Is it going to be OLED? Do you know? I suppose we don't know any of this.
Yeah, we don't.
No.
I haven't apparently there are even more leaks than this. I haven't caught them, so I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you? So, Anne, do you think this is this more appealing to you than something like this, than a PlayStation Portal?
You're talking about that new thing with the it kind of looked like it got the Joy-Cons connected to it.
Yeah, the Lenovo version of the Ally.
Go.
Well, I don't have a specific use case for it. I don't know what I would play on it.
I mean, it would be a handheld, powerful PC, basically.
It's a desktop in the palm of your hand with a screen. So much like the PlayStation with the controller on the screen, it's like a desktop in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, except this one isn't streaming; it's just running things locally. Or streaming, you can.
Yeah, see. So it's kind of what you guys.
Oh, we lost him.
Bjorn, there's a link in private chat that I've just found with some tech specs for.
Let's bring that up.
Hear me now?
Yeah, now we're gonna hear.
Zoom in.
It's kind of what you guys are saying about the PlayStation Portal, right? For me, so I play Game Pass, right? I play xCloud, and then I play PlayStation. Those are like my two way I play games. So I don't play any PC games at all. So I feel like I don't know how much that thing's gonna cost, but I feel like the extra money for that, I still could do that with my phone. The reason why I would get the PlayStation thing, because the features, it would give me exactly what I could do on the PlayStation. So for me, I feel like I wouldn't get that because it doesn't fit my use case. If I was a PC gamer, then it probably would be geared more towards me.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who who maybe more wants to be a PC gamer than is, because I don't have a powerful PC anymore. This
Yeah.
appeals to me as a like alternative to buying a gaming laptop, for example, or buying
Okay.
a gaming desktop. Like this, yes, it's not as powerful, but it's powerful enough to do all the video editing, all the recording, gameplay.
Mhm.
It can do game streaming, but it can also just play games locally. But yeah, the tech specs, according to rumors, are the AMD Ryzen Z1 or Z1 Extreme, same as the Ally,
Yeah.
16 gigs of RAM, 256 or 512 gigabytes.
They're
of
identical.
storage.
They
They're
are, aren't
identical
they?
except for
Yeah.
the screen.
But the
Yeah, for the
screen
screen.
is even higher resolution. It's a
Yes.
2560 times 1600.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it seems like a
That's a
good
butchered
power.
4K, isn't it? I mean, that's higher
yeah.
res than. Yeah.
1440 anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 40 and 40p ish screen.
Yeah.
What do you think the cost would be if you just had to take a guess?
I think they will land it right between
gonna
the
be-
cheaper Ally and the more expensive Ally for the.
Hmm.
I think they or might be like I think it will be maybe 50 or $100 higher than the Ally, and they will try to sell it on. Oh, but
I
we have
think-
a better screen and detachable controllers, so therefore it's slightly more expensive than the Ally.
I think it completely depends on part sourcing.
Yeah,
Completely.
that's true. I mean, Lenovo is also massive, just the same as
Because
Asus. So
Yeah,
what
but-
I mean
be
by
that we
that,
end
what
up
I
with the
mean by
same
that,
price.
what I mean by that is most people will say, you know, hey, it's got a better screen, so it should cost more money, but they might have went with that better screen and got it cheaper in the wholesale. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I
That's
agree.
true.
I agree with that price. I think it's going to be about a G.
Yeah.
About a G.
Yeah.
So you'd think with a better screen,
$1,000.
you know, but
Now,
Yeah.
now here's the funny thing: $1,000. Some people might get excited for that device, right? And then some people might say the PlayStation remote is too much for 200. And I'm listening to 1,000 for something I'm walking around with. I'm like, and I mean, I guess I don't know if you can make phone calls with it. and
I
stuff,
mean,
but-
the at the end of the day, the PlayStation Portal is a single use case device.
Cowboy,
It's
Cowboy,
a
if you count
multi-case
buying
use
the
case.
PlayStation, buying the portable, and then the headphones,
Right.
you're at $1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
True, but you got, you know what you got, you go along with that,
'Cause
and
you
this is
gotta
what
have-
happened with me in cloud gaming. You got to count the games. So if you give me that device and you could say I could get the same exact games on PlayStation, then I'm in, right? Because then if I could just go home, hook it up on my TV, and then if I could walk away and it's still remote or portable, but if I get those games, so for me, it's gonna come down to games, right? The PlayStation will give me the access to the games that I like. That device just give me an access to have a portable way to play games, and you just have to cross your fingers that the games you like comes on that device. So that's not a big selling point.
Since it runs Windows, anything coming to PC is automatically coming here as well.
Well, I'm more excited about the technology than the device.
Yeah, same.
itself.
Like
For
Oh, yeah, that's
all the power,
realistically, I won't buy this one anyway. So
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
love to, but I won't.
with all the power that it harnesses, it does it at a fraction of the watts. It's incredible what they've gotten away with.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, it is an impressive set of device for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love tech, man. I want to see them just keep going forward and forward with it, you know.
Yeah. Moving on then to some game-specific news for a little bit. New No Man's Sky has a new update called Echoes out, and since new No Man's Sky is launching on GFN through Xbox Game Pass today, and also is on basically everything, I figured it's worth noting.
Do you think, Bjorn? Do you think that No Man's Sky is gearing up for the comparisons to Starfield over and over again, and they're hoping that they're going to shine in certain areas they don't, or vice versa?
I think they will just do their thing. At this point, they have they did their whole like this is No Man's Sky, and then it turned out to be not that, and now they built it up again. I think they did that, and we're now at the point where I think they're just doing their own thing and just floating with it. So no, I actually don't think so. I think people will compare it for sure, but I think that's more on Starfield to show that they are something different than it is on No Man's Sky to have some sort of counter. No Man's Sky knows what they are. They're doing what they do.
Hello
They are a
Games,
small
isn't
team.
it? Is it Hello
Hello
Games? Yeah.
Small team in Guildford. I don't know how many they are now, but like when they built the initial
Yeah.
launch version, they were like 20 people. I think now they might be like 50 or something, but still, yeah, it's like it's one of those
They're
games.
amazing. I mean, they went from zero to hero. You remember when they were making all sorts of
Oh, yeah.
claims, but they turned that around, and they're darlings of indie studios now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they sold people on the idea what the game could be as what it
Right.
but they said it in a way that this is what the game is. Turns out it wasn't that, but then over time they made it that, and now people
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I mean,
I,
could have
I
been
think
better
what will
handled. I think
I
they
think
ran out
what
of
will
money.
give
That's why they did it.
I think what will give Starfield that edge is the combat. Like when I played No Man's Sky, and it was early too in No Man's Sky. It was cool. I think the concept of flying to different planets just always was something I would love. Like if we could get to the point to do that. And then Starfield to me takes it a step further because of the combat. So not only could you just fly to different planets, but you could feel like you're playing, a first person or a third person shooter. So I think that's going to gravitate to some people a little more.
Yeah, and I think it's also like No Man's Sky isn't an RPG in that sense. Starfield is built to be an RPG that also happens to have things that No Man's Sky also does. Whereas No Man's Sky is an exploration game at
No
its
Man's
core.
Sky is a love song to dedication because
Oh yeah,
they promised the world, under-delivered, and then chiseled that world for us out of sheer dedication.
yeah, and also did so very
Nicely
like
put.
I think in a way they like obviously they shouldn't have said this is what the game is, and then it turns out the game wasn't that. But they basically what they did was they said this is what we like. It was a weird way to do early access, but they did early access, and they did early access in a great way in hindsight. But obviously they sold it quite shadily. But I've seen rumors that the reason they did that was basically like they ran out of money. They couldn't. Like, they wanted to do all the things that the game became over time, but they basically couldn't afford it anymore. And they did lose. Like they had I think 6 months before release, they had an incident where the whole office flooded, and all their servers and backups got destroyed. So all they had was like a 6 month to a year old copy of the game that they've sent over to Sony to Sony for a demo or something like that. That's what they had, and they had to rebuild everything based on what they had in like 6 months, and they ran out of money doing that. So then they launched it knowing that it wasn't what they had promised, and just went with it.
It's out on Switch as well now, isn't it? Came out on Switch.
Yeah, it's out everywhere.
Back end of last year. I finished it. I completed it. I played it when it first came out. I loved it. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah. And since then, it's a completely different game.
I can't play it now. There. I just can't get back into it. I've tried, and it grabbed me day one, but I've not been able to do it since.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's like I played a little bit then, but I haven't really touched it since. I keep meaning to go back to it, but I just don't have time for it. It's one of those. Welcome, Kirk. Glad you can join us.
Hey guys, no need to derail the discussion.
Yeah. So, anything you want to add on No Man's Sky before we move on to the next game?
It's really cool in VR.
Yeah, that's true. It is a good VR game.
Yeah.
Never played it. Can't speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a VR headset, definitely worth giving it a go, because it is very it's such a colorful game. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, moving on. Next up, we have Aura History Untold. I just wanted to I'm really excited for this game, and I just saw that they had put out a trailer, so it's a shout out. This game is coming out probably early next year, and they're hoping to snag some of that Civilization audience. And yeah, it's basically Civilization, but made by a team from Microsoft owned team, Oxide, I think it's called. So yeah, it looks like Civilization, or at least very close, and I'm always down for more of that. Next up, we have I don't know if you guys seen this, but let's just roll this video. I won't have the audio on, but
this is the mobile Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it looks dope. Like the graphically, this is impressive.
I watched Primo Primo streamed this for quite a while. I watched pretty much the whole stream, and it was amazing. And I said at the time, if this came out as it sits, as it looks right now, on bigger devices, I'd be into it. It looked really good, Assassin's Creed. And given that it literally lives on a mobile, I was very impressed.
Yeah, obviously it runs. It's built for touch controls, basically, like very similar to. It seems I read that it's quite similar to, plays similarly to Genshin Impact in how like the touch controls are implemented. Like on-screen buttons for assassination pop up on screen when you need them, but they're not there when you don't. I hope there's controller support. It's unconfirmed at this point. It would be really cool if it was. And yeah, they've dropped the code names, and now it's just officially Assassin's Creed Jade. And it's basically, think Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but set in ancient China, in like 300 AD China. Yeah, it's going to be free to play, but with quarterly content updates, bringing you all around the world over time. They've mentioned, I think, going to ancient Greece as well, for a short stop. So monetize basically like with with cosmetics. So think Genshin Impact, but Assassin's Creed, like Genshin Impact style content release and monetization, but with Assassin's Creed gameplay.
Which is very smart for them. They need something like that. Ubisoft hasn't really done anything lucrative in a couple of years.
Yeah, they need it,
so
for sure. So there is a preview out from Eurogamer, because this was playable on Gamescom for press. And yeah, so it's planned for release for free with story content and further areas of the game added every 3 months, again without charge. Optional cosmetics will be provided that you can buy with real world money.
Wow. So is there an alternative way to play this other than
mobile only?
So you would need an Android emulator or whatever.
Yeah,
I know there's like
Android or iPhone.
Yeah, or Chromebook.
iPhone or Android.
There's like a Google Games or whatever, Play Games beta or whatever on PC, right?
Set out for that. This is something else. This is Black Flag, never mind. So it's basically here they say it's while Jade is centered on the 3rd century ancient China, you'll also travel to other lands, including ancient Greece, where you'll meet fan favorite series protagonist Cassandra. And I love playing with Cassandra, so that would be interesting as well. Yeah, so basically it's coming out to iOS, iPhone and Android. I think it's set to release next year. There is also, they also say like they have a bit of an interview about where it is sometime in 2024, but another closed beta happening soon. They had one just recently, and they're still working on adding features to it based on that feedback. But yeah, I think it's like I love bringing it up because it is after all the very first mobile exclusively built AAA that's single player.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane that we still haven't had that. But it technically is the first AAA single player game for mobile.
I'm surprised it's the first one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like if you look at AAA for mobile, you're looking at like Call of Duty Mobile, which is and like PUBG Mobile, and the epic one.
Well,
Fortnite Mobile.
Planet.
Yeah,
I mean all of those are multiplayer shooters.
I'm sure the data would suggest that the monetization is more effective, more lucrative with the multiplayer. But Ubisoft knows that they're better at making really single-player Assassin's Creed games. So that's probably why, I think they've tried to do a bunch of stuff in the last 2 years, thinking that they could branch out and have commercial success that way, or at least monetary success, and it hasn't worked. So I think this is like a call from the higher-ups, like, make more Assassin's Creed and figure out how to make money off of it. So,
what's interesting to me is how all this works. Like, I would like to see the numbers. What I'm saying is like how many PCs are owned around the world compared to how many people have phones in their hand. Because I'm telling you, there's way more people with phones in their hand in India, China, Japan.
Phone rules right now. The mobile is
the phone is a computer in your hand, but
is extremely lucrative.
So the number of active mobile devices operating worldwide is around 15 billion. Apparently, out of those, a lot of them are underpowered and not able to run things like this.
Sure, but all right. So now look up how many Windows 10 PCs are in the world.
And a third.
How many?
Could be 11 too, right?
1.4 billion.
Wow,
not even. I mean, I'm not good at math.
10%.
Yeah. So basically, if you look at how many Windows gamers there are, that's there's 10% more mobile gamers in the world, and out of those, let's say especially in China, it's very popular, and this is being built.
Kirk's got a point. The bean counters came up and headbutted somebody in the head and was like, bro, you're missing out. We need to make some more money.
Well, this is the reason behind the ABK deal for Microsoft, because they've got no entry into mobile. Man, none of all these guys know this is the case.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, as Phil Spencer said in an interview with Eurogamer, to quote, the reason we're in the acquisition discussion with Activision Blizzard King is around their mobile capability, because it's something we don't have. Quoted by him before as well, but specifically yesterday, I think it was. They say that we need mobile to thrive, and that includes streaming Starfield.
That's right.
So yeah, I think Jade is the closest thing to Jade probably is Genshin Impact, and I think the fact that Genshin Impact is so successful goes a long way. And I mean, this not coming to other things than mobile is an interesting thing, but I think it's partly also not to compete with the other Assassin's Creed games coming later. And at the end of the day, if this is not built by Ubisoft themselves, this is built by a studio owned by Tencent, and it's going to be released in China by Tencent, licensed by Ubisoft. So, the user base for this will be in the many millions, thanks to China alone, because it's a game set in ancient China. It's built by a Chinese company for China specifically, and then releasing it for the rest of the world as well. Because why not? And Genshin Impact was similar. It was also built by a Chinese team, then released to the rest of the world. Because why not? And then everyone loved it. So I think this Jade could be a big hit for Ubisoft.
It is good. It's interesting, isn't it? Because, Microsoft have obviously ascertained the importance of, the fact that they're not in mobile. But it's interesting that Sony aren't seeing anything like that either. They've got a mobile division, but you'd think PlayStation would be saying, hey guys, let's release a handheld that looks like a PS5 that actually plays mobile versions of PlayStation games.
Yeah. And as Maker points out, Call of Duty Mobile was also made by Tencent Studio. So,
well, they do own pretty much 10% of every studio on the planet, don't they?
But these two games in particular is made by studios that are 100% owned by Tencent.
Right.
And then Tencent owns 20 or 15% of Ubisoft anyway, so that also affects things. But yeah, and as we said, Microsoft also really pushing for mobile as well, and streaming to phones when phones can't. When you can't do a port of a game to mobile, why not stream it to mobile? So yeah, it's I think
that's why I think they prematurely shut Stadia down a little bit. If they could have moved into another region where it could have hit all their phones and all their old shitty laptops, they could have still played games, AAA games on.
Yeah,
it could have been incredible.
To go to Mexico.
And all the places where they always said, "Oh, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the bandwidth." Well, the AV1 codec cut that bandwidth in half. They were right on the verge of a bunch of stuff.
I remember I think it was a lot of us were talking about this just before the shutdown, when they were so close to launching in Mexico, and I think Rokk, didn't you speak to someone on the inside who said that they were just weeks
translation
away?
Issues.
Yeah, translation issues. They were literally weeks away.
Yeah, they were.
It was right around the launch.
Translation.
Yeah, but if they hadn't been, they would have launched in Mexico. Right around the same, basically the same week as the new FIFA game launched.
They were also aiming for Russia just at the time when they invaded Ukraine, which didn't help either.
But the fact that they had FIFA 23 coming out the same week that they were initially planning on launching in Mexico.
Yeah.
If that had launched together and they had a brand deal with EA for it, they could have had like 10 million Mexicans jumping in over.
It was a commercial own goal.
This sounds ridiculous, but if I was Google, man, I would have started my first data center in India, and I would have started there.
Yeah,
I would have.
Yeah,
I honestly would have.
100%.
That sounds ridiculous to some people probably, but that's what I would have done because it would have hit a much larger market. It could have made a much bigger splash.
Yeah, it was very much Google being Google and being too America centric and too MVP.
Doing how they do it, yeah.
Yeah, they build their we build our the minimum viable product and then we go from there. And if it doesn't work, then we shut it down. That's the way they've always done stuff, and it doesn't work in the gaming industry. Like
I was saying earlier,
it was just a few years ago we started being okay with early access.
Without GFN right now, cloud would wither. They've got the best fidelity, the best connection. They're not their own service like Stadia was, of course, but
yeah. And I mean, I love all cloud services, but seriously, GFN is really in the forefront now, and I hope some more can catch up because competition is always good. But
well, I think this represents a general shift of the industry away from cloud in general, in that, as Rokk was pointing out, Phil Spencer has said multiple times that a lot of the Activision Blizzard King purchase was about King, and getting that infrastructure on cellular phones that would be different from what they have now, which is the game streaming, the cloud, and just getting the mobile app, the native app on the phone. Obviously, you've got internet connectivity and stuff with a COD mobile or something. And sorry, my window this time of day is the worst time of day for my window. But there's a shift now where they're realizing there is a huge market in mobile, and streaming a game from a rig to your handheld mobile device is maybe not the way to go, in terms of, if you're not an NVIDIA and you haven't invested years of capital, resources, and effort into building the infrastructure to do that type of thing as a full-time gig, they're realizing that it's very hard. Google figured it out. Xbox figured it out. PlayStation figured it out a while ago. And they said, we're not even touching that. We'll offer it on our premium tier of PS Plus or whatever.
But at the same time, though, I think Boosteroid and
I mean, these are kind of small ball players.
Yeah, but they're proving even a small ball player can do it. And
sure, but what I'm saying is that what you guys are going to get out of this is that the big time players that have the IP and stuff that you guys care about, they are interested in providing you games on a platform that isn't traditional hardware.
Some of these companies have to be drugged to places kicking and screaming just because the industry is heading that way. Sometimes they do have to be drugged. Right by the nose sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they're used to doing business the way they're used to doing business. Look at when streaming first come out.
AWS is massive. They're all over the place. Amazon could overnight turn Luna into something massive if they wanted to. And I mean, Microsoft have Azure also all over the place.
But what I'm saying is that
but anyone else could also build a clever solution on top of these providers, or other providers like Paperspace, or whoever else is out there, IBM as well. There are plenty of data center providers that they can use to build something like this, or build their own. But that's always obviously harder and more expensive. But there's plenty of options out there for companies to do. I think cloud is Stadia shutting down was a setback, but it's not necessarily. I think the industry is still, and I think it made the industry take a step back and look at it how do you want to do this? But I think without a doubt it is still where the industry is going, trying to head.
It's extremely sad to see Stadia take developing tech that's remarkable and then just shelve it and sit on it. I'm not saying they're not doing anything in R&D behind the scenes or anything like that, but
Ubisoft.
It's just sad to see anything get shelved like that.
Yeah, but it's also one of those, if you look at it from the aspect of if you're Microsoft and you want to bring all your games, all the Call of Duties and the Starfields and the Elder Scrolls 6 and whatever else they build in the future, if you want to bring that to the biggest audience in the world, mobile, you could either work really hard on ports that only run on high-end devices and limit you quite heavily, or you can also put it out on the cloud, and then anyone can.
I think Jade is the future. I think we just looked at the future. That's what I'm saying. Is that they're going to make
short term,
fully,
yes, but long term, I think
mobile game.
I think long term, honestly, Ubisoft Scalar is probably the future long term. Now you have a game like Jade running locally, but it then offsets a bunch of the high intensity stuff to the cloud.
You can't count chickens before they're hatched. That game could come out and play like poop.
Oh, yeah. No, Primo's played it. I watched him stream it. It played really well.
So it's in active it's open
in closed beta.
Play.
I guess so. I'll see if I can find the link. Hang on.
I'm trying to smooth my way into the second beta and get approval to do content on as well.
But that's what these companies want to do too.
Call of Duty as well. That released decent, right?
Yeah,
mobile. Yeah,
it makes it's more lucrative for them to set up a mobile-based monetization infrastructure than to give you cloud capability for a game that exists on hardware. Like, I think they
for Microsoft
advantage out of.
I think for Microsoft specifically, it's not an either or; it's a both. They want to do both.
So what's the solution to that within the industry? Because I think that's hurting the industry. Is there a solution, or is that just the way things are going from now on, where they spend most of their time trying to figure out how to monetize a game and sell you things rather than actually build a good game?
I think BG3 proved that there is space for both. We're gonna get both over time. We're not gonna get companies aren't gonna stop trying to squeeze money out of you.
We will get both, but what I'm saying is,
Immortals that just came out.
There's a big hubbub about BG3 and about how other devs are saying, "Hey, man, don't expect stuff from us. Don't expect us to invest in
BG3 is coming out this year for Xbox. That was announced, gentlemen.
Right? Yeah, that was. I didn't find a link for that. Yes, that is also approved.
But we just got Immortals, which is just a next gen as heck first person shooter single player game. Like, that's not built from the ground up to make money. Starfield doesn't seem to be built from the ground up to make money. Like, these games, Armored Core, I mean, like, these games definitely exist. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of the industry space has been, carved out and seized by these sort of money-making type of, game design games. But at the same time, we've also got 200% more games than we used to. So it's just, we now have an oversaturation of games, which means that it feels like there's a bunch more games that just exist to make money because there are. It's just a buyer awareness thing. You can't just go buy a game off the shelf anymore. You have to do your research, figure out if it's quality or if it's just going to be
and a lot of these games also are free to play and
hey, free to play doesn't bother me if they have a monetization system in play that I don't have to opt into or not. Some of the games isn't quite that way, and if that's the future to where every game has got a monetized store, I'm probably done gaming.
I think the thing is, there will always be bad eggs trying to do that. There will always, but they will never, that will never really sit well with most gamers. So I think in the end, you will have the free to play where you can play the game as much as you want, and then you can buy cosmetics. You will have free to play where you can play a big chunk of the game, and they can buy expansions or more content for it if you like it. And then there will be the games you just buy straight up.
Everything I just said may sound like I don't want developers to make money. But I definitely do, especially if they make a good product.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, there will be a mix of everything over the next couple of years, and the inevitable future. But I don't think it's gonna I don't think either of this is gonna hurt the industry much. I think we're gonna have pretty much the same. It's gonna be the same as it's been for the last couple of years. It's not. Don't think that's gonna change much. What I think is gonna change is the amount of games coming out on mobile, but also on streaming services. I think both of those, because I think gamers, game companies, are looking at how can we bring our games to more people, and mobile and cloud are the two best ways to bring it to more people, other than the classic PC, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation.
Well, it's certainly cheaper to build a game from the ground up for mobile than it is to build an infrastructure for cloud gaming. That's for sure.
Yeah, but then if you can piggyback off someone else's cloud gaming and be like, hey, Nvidia or Microsoft, hey,
absolutely,
let's give us some money.
But Nvidia is like the only ones that like anybody would want to piggyback off of. I feel like
they have the fidelity. Yeah.
But or you can, but I mean, as a company, if you can go to, especially if you're like an indie company or a like AA company, if you can go to Microsoft and be like, hey, we have this game, we would love to have it reach a bigger audience through streaming. Can we put it on Game Pass and cloud? And I mean, and Microsoft will be like, yeah, sure, here's a chunk of money for it, and then that's the budget of the next game sorted. Like that's already happening as it is.
Bjorn, private chat. There's a link to Primo's Jade stream. It looks even better than I remember looking at it back.
I'll bring that up then. I wonder if he was allowed to stream it because I don't
know.
I asked.
I thought I saw like that there was like NDAs for this game, honestly, but
I asked them like, can I get into the beta and am I like through the partnership program and am I allowed to stream it? And I got the reply of I don't know, I'll check with the team, and then by the time they checked with the team, the beta was over. But I'm hoping I can get into the next one.
If you speed it forward, because there's a whole bunch of cutscene and what have you.
Speaking of, this does look good. Speaking of Ubisoft, I saw that they're doing a 5-hour trial that you get like 3 to 5 days to do
the crew.
The crew, that's cool that they're doing that. Like I know, like obviously EA does something similar to that, but I want to see more. Like we're moving out of the era of don't do reviews until our game launches. Like we just want you to buy it and it's broken and we don't want you to know that. You just give us your pre-order money. We're moving more and more into the space of try our game. It's good. We're confident in it. You will like it. So that's good for everybody. Yeah, this looks like an actual Assassin's Creed game.
This looks really good. Like this,
it still has like a little bit of that like that mobile like.
Yeah. It looks like you could. It looks like it could play on the Switch, no problem.
No. Trust me on this.
Why can't I?
It's Bjorn's share. I'm looking at it on my screen. It's running at 60 frames per second, and it looks like it's on a decent rig.
Okay. Why can't I play it on the Switch, guys? That seems like a no-brainer.
I think you will be able to.
Yeah, probably. But also it might be one of those like where the on a technical standpoint, running the Switch is a. It's basically a NVIDIA Shield last gen NVIDIA Shield, and I think this needs more modern hardware than that. I don't think the Shield could technically.
You might be right about that. Yeah,
it might be one of those like, oh, you need it like isn't the Switch just 32 bits?
The Switch runs Witcher 3. There's no way it can't run.
Yeah, but that was after heavy porting. Like I think it's one of those.
Sure.
I think there might be a case of this is like I don't remember exactly, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Switch is a 32-bit system and this needs 64 bits, for example, something like that.
But he's playing this on a Samsung S22 Ultra, so it's fairly decent kit.
Like Maker,
this weird
on a technical standpoint, no.
That's because it's they do that with Ubisoft. It'll be all over Skull and Bones tomorrow as well. It's just there.
Yeah, it's so that they can see like,
who streamed it.
But also like,
I don't think he was supposed to. I don't think he was supposed to stream it.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
but
still
also,
there.
like, if someone reports a bug and sends them a screen grab of the content, they can see, is this user ID? We can look at what like the specs and everything.
Don't break NDAs, guys.
Yeah, that too.
No.
This looks great. I'm hyped for the full the next beta and the full release.
I've put a link in the chat, guys. If anybody wants to go,
and definitely. Give Primo a thumbs up on the subscribe because he's a great content creator. Unfortunately, lives in such a different time zone that we can never get him on the show. Otherwise, I would have loved to, but he's over in Hawaii, so not easy to get him on.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm looking at it, Rokk. Looks great.
Looks great, doesn't it, Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next up, some Switch news. De novo anti-copy protection is now authorized as a middleware for Switch. So expect. They say it's not going to impact your performance at all. But yeah.
Oh, but we know better, sir.
Yeah. De novo is it's known to not do that much in terms of stopping piracy, and it's not known to
No, it's
fuck
just
up users.
it's a hot button topic for a whole bunch of gamers. They hate the DRM that is always attached to games, and it's kind of a mess.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, Switch users, you're gonna have to deal with the new. Moving on, Epic Games have announced that they are offering third-party games launching on Epic to get 12% more. Basically, the 12% revenue cut that Epic takes, they will say, we won't take that if you're 6 months exclusive to us. Do you think this will work for them, like bringing in more exclusives?
Wow.
And is this good?
Wait. So so when they launched, just for a little bit of background, when they launched this whole interface, they said our revenue split is going to be so much better for devs than Steam. That's why you should like us instead of Steam. And so it was, I don't know what the percentage was. I guess it was 12?
Steam takes 30% and Epic takes 12%.
So now they're just going to they're just not going to take money?
Now they're saying we're going to give you 100% for the first 6 months if you also go with a 6 months exclusivity deal with it.
Yeah, it's a time old tradition of undercutting your competitor.
Yeah,
I mean, how are they? I guess how are they going to make money?
They don't. They can lose money for 6 months if everybody jumps on the bandwagon. They don't.
Don't
give
forget,
a shit.
they have fucking Fortnite money.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but okay. But yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean they should burn it. You know, I mean, I don't know.
This is them. This is very much
sure. That's great for devs. That's awesome. I don't know how they can.
Yeah, I think this is
them
trying to get devs to go with exclusive with them to build a user base.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna
increase their user base to and mess with Steam so people join them. That's all it's about.
This will have crazy consequences. Yeah, this will. I mean, we saw a lot of devs use them exclusively when they first announced that revenue split, and this is going to have probably twice as big of an effect. I mean, who can say no to 100% of your proceeds?
100% of your money? Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, it's only for 6 months, but then you get 88% and 6 months exclusivity, and after that you can launch it. Then you have a new launch on Steam after that.
6 months of a major game release. There's money all around.
Yeah, and then after that you can go, we're now launching on Steam and get a whole new influx. I mean, it's win-win for the indie games and
unless Steam is like, if you go do this, we won't take you.
Yeah, now the fine print is probably the percentages. Are you going to release this on Steam? Maybe.
Yeah, it's just like Windows said, it's just like Kick offering 95% to content creators. It's bring people in, so that they keep keeping them on the platform. Moving on. Starfield is apparently also the starting gun for its Xbox first party games. There's a lot more. This has been the beginning of something that's going to be really special, and apparently this.
Tell me if you heard that before.
Yeah. True.
32 times the detail. Okay.
The 1,000 planets.
Todd wasn't on that long yesterday or the other day. He wasn't on that long.
That's good. That means he didn't have to talk anything up too much. It's probably
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody that is an Xbox fan is like, it's the fool me once proverb. It's just like, we think Starfield's going to be great, and then from there, put up or shut up. We're done with the lip service. We want to see good games. We believe in you. We always have. But like this dragging out and being like, they're coming. Trust us, they're coming. The good games, we got them. We bought all the studios, and the games are coming. We got Hellblade.
To be fair, though,
and we got Xbox exclusives. You're gonna be so happy. It's like just
Todd Howard.
How come they came from Georgia?
when it comes to
that was Georgia.
He's a showman and he's a salesman. And this guy can sell you a popsicle, a ketchup popsicle, man. If you got white gloves.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah. And I've come to realize Phil Spencer is also like, he is like, I have no idea how he's as a CEO because I don't work there. I haven't seen that firsthand. But like he's so good at marketing. Like on a he's like a living, breathing marketing machine. I saw a 10-minute clip with him earlier today for Gamescom where he was basically saying that like he was basically grilled quite heavily by Destin from IGN, and he took it like a champ. Like he all answered honestly to
very
honestly
cool
to
under
questions.
pressure.
and it was like talking a lot about how like talking up every other platform as well. I mean, like, oh, I love this game. That's Spider-Man is like I look forward to Spider-Man. And, like talking up everyone else. He seems like comes across as a genuinely great gamer dude, but at the same time, I mean, he's the CEO of Microsoft. Of Xbox, it wouldn't surprise me if that it could all just be for show.
Well, look, man, if you're into gaming, you cannot thumb your nose at the Xbox's in-house studios nor the Sony ones, man, because they do freaking brilliant games. If you're a gamer,
like Phil Spencer seems like one of the best executives in gaming from every single interview I see with him. And
whereas Jim Ryan is one of the best wet blankets.
Very much so. Like it feels like Phil Spencer. It seems to be there is a reason he's a CEO that's out there very very much, because he's a marketing machine, even worse than Todd Howard. But
well, I have to give him credit for stepping out there and putting his chin out to get slugged by Redfall. He definitely did that.
Yeah, and I mean, just in this interview the from yesterday, he was like. The Redfall came up again. It was like, I mean that is 100% on the Xbox executive team. We failed at integrating them because due to several factors like that. The failure of Redfall is not on developers. It's on Xbox and like management of Xbox.
It was a good game. I loved it.
No. It
think of the game what you will. It was a massive flop for them.
The AI was.
Listen, I don't have a problem.
I enjoyed it.
I don't have a problem that's
easily
not marketed.
Pleased.
Say I'm not. I don't have a problem with a game that's not marketed towards me. But what I do have a problem with, and this is funny, I'm going to mention Starfield here because the image is up there. But like when they wheel developers out to talk about something that they are passionate about, but they failed at the moment, I can't stand that. As an example, they brought Redfall's guys out there to talk about their AI and how great it was. Ray could run up and stick 2 fingers in a bum of one of them, and they wouldn't even turn around to bite him. Like, it was incredible. And then Starfield, I love. Go ahead, Ray.
No. Go ahead. You go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I love Bethesda. Some of my favorite single-player adventures have been with Bethesda. But they brought all their people out to talk about, or the certain developer that worked on the new facial animations, and they talked about it for 15 minutes. I'm sorry, you can't do that when your facial animations are 10 years behind the industry standard.
I think in the defense of Starfields and the developers of it, on the 45-minute presentation they had, yes, all of those people were very obviously it was very well rehearsed and everything. They knew from the get-go what they were doing with it. It was very markety. But at the same time, it was clear that all of these people have a massive passion for the game.
Yes, no. I'm not talking about passion or anything else. What I mean is limitations. They're given what they're given to do their job, and then they do work hard and they are excited about it. But they wheel them out to church it up. I say, to put the nice shirt on it and to make it sound better than it actually is.
Yeah,
and that drives me insane.
But it's not though. That's just basic. You're basically saying it's.
Yeah, I know. You cut a shit sandwich in half and you describe how both sides are delicious and you're expected to nibble.
This isn't gonna be a shit sandwich. It's
I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I think
then I don't understand your point.
All Starfield
you're saying they can't wheel them out to talk about this game, which is 90% gonna be amazing. Sure, there's 10% that it could be an absolute flop.
What I'm saying is when you're 10 years behind the standard and then you're going to gush over that part of the game that's actually not impressive, it's an issue. Just like Redfall, when they brought out their developers to talk about how great their AI was, and it was clearly broken when the game was released.
I think it's incredibly subjective to say anything that they've shown off in this game is 10 years behind the standard.
Go look at their facial animations really close.
Yeah, I think
I'm just saying it's subjective. I don't know. I mean,
it's also one of those,
bro. I've played hundreds of hours in the Creation Engine, hundreds and hundreds of hours, and let me tell you, the Creation Engine is behind the industry standard. Period.
Yeah, and I mean, the facial animations were never the strong suit of any of Bethesda's games.
No. There's a reason why there's a reason that Fallout has VATS in it. Because it's not made to be a first-person shooter where you run around fast and blow stuff up. That's why VATS was created. That's why there's no vehicles. No, I don't believe that. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm hoping.
This is Starfield is running on an updated version of the Creation Engine.
Yeah,
but it
Creation
is,
Engine 2.0.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is still the same engine. Like I remember, I'm close friends with someone who built some really great mods for both Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Skyrim, and then he stopped doing modding. But there were bugs in all three games that he discovered when he started out modding in Morrowind. That bug was still there in Skyrim.
Copy and pasted over and over again into different IPs.
They have a lot of technical depth in the Creation Engine. While the engine is incredible at what it does, it has a lot of technical depth that's occasionally biting. Like most bugs you see in Bethesda games aren't because they couldn't fix the bugs. It's engine bugs.
Like they've added some new tomography stuff to their engine, but how well is it implemented? I'd love to see it. Starfield.
I think Bethesda could really much benefit from after Starfield going like, all right, for Elder Scrolls 6, let's just rebuild, take the Creation Engine and build it from scratch, rebuild it from the ground up.
Because Starfield still looks like a little old. Like it doesn't really look.
And it's always going to, as long as they keep the backbone that it is.
Well, they're talking about doing. They're talking about doing Elder Scrolls 6 in the Creation Engine, and that scares the shit out of me. It really does. But
if they rebuild the backend, then I'm fine with it, because the core of Creation Engine is they have a really old core they need to rebuild. Yeah. But the rest of it is fine. Like I think if they rebuild the base layer, the layer that speaks directly to the CPU. Like that's what they need to rebuild. Well, that's where they have the memory leaks. That's where they have the weird AI bugs that show up because it's built on old tech.
Well, if they can deliver a competent Fallout 4 in space and over deliver, I'm going to be ecstatic. That's all it has to be for me is a decent Fallout 4 narrative type game.
Yeah, I have a feeling Starfield will end up with Metacritic rating of. 90 in the 90s. I don't think it will beat Baldur's Gate 3.
That would be really good for Xbox. That would be.
Yeah, I think it would be one of those 92, 95, maybe even.
Now, all that trash I just talked about, Todd. Let's bring this up as well. This is supposed to be Todd's baby, meaning he's thought about this game for years and years, and
before Morrowind. Even before Morrowind, this game was in his mind.
Correct. So I'm hoping that that vision holds true, and they had enough time to polish it. That's all. If it releases a buggy mess, it could be bad. But I'm really hoping that
if it releases a buggy mess, it's gonna have so little consequence. I mean, just look at Skyrim. That's all you guys got to do to understand how this game's going to perform.
Still to this day,
no, I think. Listen, bud. I think
and it's a huge commercial success and critical success.
Kirk, the days are done though, where somebody sees a giant bug in a Bethesda game and giggles and goes, "Oh, that's funny," and thinks it's fun. That's done. They killed that with Fallout 76.
Yeah,
they killed
it. They did. But I think there will be bugs. Just like Baldur's Gate 3 has bugs.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think it will be on the a similar level of bug polish as Baldur's Gate 3. But I don't think
the good news is
bug fixing it.
The good news is they took more time.
Yeah, but I think a lot of these bugs that we will encounter
Red Dead Redemption 2
won't really be fixable because it's such an old core engine. So I suspect the pathfinding memory leak bug that will still be there and will create issues for people, but I don't think that will matter much at the end of the grand scheme of things. But that it's one of those. It will release. It will be buggy. They will fix a lot of the bugs, but not all of the bugs. But most some certain bugs. Whereas a game like Baldur's Gate, I think will have in a year.
Yeah,
we'll have
Maker.
all the bugs
I wasn't referring about the money being made. I was talking about the narrative. The narrative that'll be levied.
This game will absolutely steamroll any negative narrative. I think you guys are underestimating the absolute mammoth mainstream appeal that this is going to have. There will be no overtly negative narrative about this game. It will be considered an absolute success. It will be considered.
I think. Did you put any time, Kirk? Did you put any time into Fallout 76 at all?
I did, yes.
Okay.
But thank you for the very accusatory question.
That wasn't accusatory. I was just asking if you played Fallout 76.
Yes, I played for about 6 hours, and no, it wasn't good. I played it at launch. It definitely wasn't good. I know that they've worked a lot on it. I mean, they tried to do a different type of game that they had no business trying to do. Everybody did it at that time because they all looked at Destiny, and the higher-ups in the suit said, you got to copy that. Go do that. Anthem, same deal. BioWare should not be making a Destiny clone. They should be making more Dragon Age, which thankfully they finally are. But I think that they'll be back to form with this. I'm not worried about it. It will have no more problems than Skyrim had. And if it has as many problems as Skyrim had in 2023, people will forgive them if it's another Skyrim. I think you guys are just underestimating that. Skyrim is it's a zeitgeist. It's a zeitgeist mammoth.
Starfield will be a massive commercial success. It will be either way it will be. I think it will be a pretty big critical success, but I think it's coming and the biggest in terms of attention and sales. I think it will be the biggest game of the year. I think Baldur's Gate will still win will still I mean, not counting the usual ones.
FIFA, fair. But
I think this will be a bigger game than Tears of the Kingdom even. But I think at the end of the day,
probably.
I think then we come into the next story. The Game Awards. Now,
not this.
That was a segue. The Game Awards has been, by the way, officially set for December 7th. But when we get there, I think, I'm pretty sure that we will see the conversation being Starfield is incredible, but it's not as good as it's not as masterpiecey as Baldur's Gate 3. And I think it will be nominated, but I don't think it will win.
We did this last time, Bjorn.
Yeah, we did.
The two non-Nintendo games put up a great showing and knock each other out. That's what happens. Starfield and Baldur's Gate, they get a ton of votes. The Zelda faithful are gonna stay Zelda faithful. They're gonna vote for this game. It's gonna be the same deal as with Sekiro, where there were a couple of AAA games that had a lot of mainstream appeal that year. And Control, I think, and one other one. It might have been Resident Evil 2. And the votes got disseminated, and there's one with people will vote for that one game that you cannot get them to not vote for. And From Software fans, they're one core base that's like that with Sekiro and Elden Ring. And I think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna take it just because. It's like an election, basically. If you have two games for the same audience, half of them are going to go to Baldur's Gate, half are going to go to Starfield, and then
I'll say
everybody that likes Nintendo and likes Zelda is going to vote for Nintendo Zelda.
Yeah. I think Baldur's Gate is going to win something.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Best RPG, maybe. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of Nintendo, another good segue here. Charles Martinet is officially stepping down as the voice of Mario. He will no longer be the voice actor for Mario.
It's
he will
not
still
to
work
me anymore.
Yeah, he will still work with Nintendo as a Mario ambassador, whatever that means. But yeah, he's no longer the voice of Mario, and that's weird. Do you think they will bring in?
Now.
Yeah, seriously, do you think they will bring in Chris Pratt for the next game?
I don't know.
Probably not.
They'll get somebody that can do the voice well. And
yeah.
I mean, he probably he's getting up there in years.
Yeah, and they've even confirmed that Martinet's voice will not be used in the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
So they have somebody then.
Yeah, but we don't know who it is. But yeah, that's also interesting. That game is also coming out this year. What the fuck is up with this game this year, guys?
Coming out in less than 2 months. Yeah, less than 2 months.
It's crazy.
I think so.
This it's an insane year. Embracer Group, which we talked about last week, being not having restructuring and losing money left and right after their massive deal didn't go through. They have reported a sales rise by 47% in Q1. So it seems whatever they're doing is working pretty well, which is good for them. Some less fun stuff. Roblox has been accused of facilitating an illegal gambling ring for minors. That's gonna be fun for them in court, right?
I think this is frivolous. I haven't looked into it much, but so this is coming from parents and this reeks again.
Yeah,
haven't done analysis on this, but this reeks of like my 12-year-old child stole my credit card out of my purse and bought a bunch of V-Bucks.
I mean, at the same time,
or it's just all the parents pissed off that they keep giving their kids money for games they never own.
I mean,
it's never done.
Yeah. And there's no way it's actual gambling. I think they just have set up a online marketplace and they have made a lot of money.
I mean,
you know what you say? You say no.
Some of those drop percentages. Some of those drop percentages, or almost all of them, are predatory anyway. And sometimes
so it's like the loot box thing. Yeah.
Sometimes you find out Madden's giving packs away with a chance to win something that ain't even in the pack. No packs.
So what?
Don't get me started about.
Apparently, there are some virtual casinos that exist outside of Roblox ecosystem. The users can link their Roblox wallet to third-party gambling sites from Roblox websites. So there are actual third-party gambling sites that are working like that you can connect to your Roblox account and use and connect to the game. And also, like, Roblox have been accused of, like, what they're doing is in some cases technically child labor, because they are, like, children are building their own games in Roblox and selling them to other children within Roblox community, who are then buying Robux off the company for real money and then giving that to the users.
Is that not what Minecraft's doing though?
But the thing is, Minecraft pays the creators actual, like, payouts of actual money, whereas Roblox just goes,
that's even more child labor.
You have like a million.
That's even more child labor if they pay them like employees.
True, it's rather like you can publish your game on the Minecraft's web marketplace as like selling your content. Whereas here it's basically like people are building things, and then the only thing they're getting back is money to spend on buying other things within the same ecosystem. Like, it's just like people are just throwing money at Roblox to buy things that just gives Roblox even more money.
I mean, this is another one of those ones where, like, it would be great if a court came out and said no more loot boxes, because, like, I don't think any of us would lose any sleep over that or be disappointed. But it hasn't happened yet, so I'm assuming that the law is not.
They can remove shark cards too, but I think somebody would get upset with that.
Yeah, but I think I think Roblox they're constantly in those, like, muddy waters of, like, they're not getting into trouble, but they're very close to getting into trouble constantly. Mm-hmm. I mean, my son loves watching Roblox videos on YouTube, and I think he nags me, like, at least twice a month, like, can I get when can I get Roblox? Can I get Roblox? When can I get Roblox? And my answer has been constantly, and will remain for the rest of his life: when you're old enough to make your own, like, when you're 18 and you're legally buy your own things, you can do whatever you want. But until then, you're not touching that game. Like,
you ever heard of something called addiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was gonna say, don't SPG, don't get me started about Ultimate Team, because I just touched Ultimate Team again for the first time for my Madden 24 review, because you got to for a review, right, to be professional. Right. But I haven't touched it since 2018 in Madden 19, because I spent like $400-$500, and I was like, I had to wake up. I saw my bank account, and I was like, this has to stop. Through the game, in a bin, somewhere where I wouldn't see
Ultimate
it.
Team is
I haven't played it since. Yeah,
FIFA packs,
I was like, this is getting me.
Oh my god!
And it's, man, I mean, and the worst thing about Ultimate Team is, like, it's fun. Like, it's really fun. Like, if you like football, and if you like football, like European football for Ultimate Team in FIFA or EFC,
well, opening those packs,
it's really fun.
Yeah, well, they make it fun. All those packs.
Well, not even the gambly side, SPG. Playing the football. Like I literally want to get that player to play with him.
I understand that. I understand that. But all I'm saying is, like, when you open the packs, they make you have to, like, tear them and then boosh. Like, it gives you this.
I hate that, actually. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, well, bro.
Gives me anxiety.
But that's meant to be the hook. You know what I'm saying? And, like, they
I don't like gambling, though.
Like,
I don't like casino gambling. So
yeah, exactly, and that's what it's modeled after. Even if people don't agree that it is gambling.
Ray, that happened to me in Snap. that happened to me in Snap this week because I wanted to get X23. So I was like, come on. I've only got 4. Like, I need to get this card.
I mean, as someone who plays a lot of Magic Arena, like the Magic the Gathering digital version, like I love that game, and like it's one of those, like, it's surprisingly fair, just like Marvel Snap is, at least was when I tried it last. Like, very fair. Like, you can get a lot of, like, you get a lot of content without paying anything. But like there's always that, like, on the back of my mind, like, oh, but if I just had like 50 more gems, that's just like,
these limited time these limited time variants are getting me in Snap.
Right? Yeah, I've so far I've done it once and then never.
It's my own fault, but
Evan's time to go to bed. No. This new battle pass is gonna be over soon, and I gotta go. I gotta get this card.
Here's my issue with that, though. With battle pass, whenever I pick up a battle pass for anything, like, even if, like, either we did it for Fall Guys, me and my son. Like, I bought for both of us enough to get the first one, and then because we had played a lot at that point, so we got enough in-game cash to then get the second one for free, basically. And both times I've done, like, every time I do that in any game, I stop playing like a week after I get the battle pass. It's like I get the battle pass and then I like stop playing and I realize that was stupid.
See, you used to be able to just in some games you still can, but you can in any game, to be fair, just finish it and then buy it. But the problem is with games like Overwatch, well, they give you a 20% boost to the progress if you get it up front. So you're doing 20% more work if you don't buy it and then buy it at the end to guaranteed get the stuff. So Overwatch, I've always bought it. I'm a little more dedicated to it. Like, if I spend the money, I'm like, ain't no way they're ripping me off. Well, man, I'm finishing this battle pass.
I can completely understand some of it. Like, I would rather have a fun grind and I can avoid the monetization altogether, but it doesn't work for a company sometimes. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Everybody, that game was so fun. People would rather grind for that gold for hours and hours and hours than give them any money. And it didn't work.
And in the case of Magic, it's like the reason I love doing I love playing it is, like, while I could, like, as you say, it would be better to play through the set, the mastery, and then buy it to get all the rewards. But, like, part of the fun is playing, like, in the early days of the new set with those new cards. You can only do that if you have the cards early on, and you can't have, like, you get the rewards much faster if you have, like, it's like, it's more fun to have it early on and play it through with it. But yeah, every single level. And I did stop doing that, using the Master Pass for quite a while after I had an incident where I was just a little bit short. I spent money on it and bought that Master Pass, and then the week after they updated the game, and I couldn't play a single match for 2 months, and they refused to refund me. Like, that was my realization. Like, I'm not gonna spend any more money on this because this is not worth it. But yeah, final story, guys, of the My City news is that Sega has now finalized the purchase of Rovio. So Angry Birds joins Sega's library of IPs like Sonic. Maybe we can see a Angry Birds Angry Birds level in the new Sonics now. Who knows?
Actually, I would think movie. This says movie to me.
Yeah,
Sega Universe.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yeah, Sega's made quite the comeback from being a massive, like, one of the biggest console makers into
Yakuza,
dying into oblivion,
like a dragon.
They've risen from their ashes basically over the last couple of years, and I love it. They have some great stuff, Sega, and Humankind, one of the best challengers in the Civilization style game, is also Sega.
Are you guys fans of the, I guess now referred to Like a Dragon series?
Oh, I love it. I love the graphics. I haven't
really gotten into it at all.
I feel like I'm actually running through Japan.
Yeah,
I've heard that it's really good. I know.
I really liked. I guess it's so confusing that they changed the name. Yakuza Like a Dragon, the most recent one, which is Yakuza 7, basically, was so good. them switching to turn-based was amazing, and they got a new protagonist who's so endearing.
We should have like a Rokk Player special where you and Matthias talk Yakuza for, because it's his favorite series of all time.
See, I haven't played a bunch of the previous games, so maybe he could school me up on.
Oh yeah,
on
he
that
could.
A little bit.
He knows exactly what you should do.
But anyway, I was gonna say the new one, as a little bit of news. The new one, Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the Man Who Erased His Name, which is basically a follow-up to Yakuza 6 story-wise. That one is gonna have an exclusive pre-play version of the Infinite Wealth game. So you can't even play it in the final release. But if you buy Like a Dragon Gaiden, you get to play some sort of secret, prequel mission to that game. So that's interesting. That's like a new thing.
Yeah, that is cool.
I've never heard of anybody doing anything like that before. So
yeah, I think that's all new. I also want to make a shout out to two games before we wrap it up. First of all, my favorite MMO, Guild Wars 2, just 2 days ago released their new expansion pack. I'm not gonna buy it just yet because I still haven't even started on the last one. I have some ways to go. I picked that game up like 10 years after release, picked it back up again, and realized, oh shit, I have so much content to play, and I'm slowly getting up to speed. The expansion pack looks really good, and the main theme of the soundtrack is just mind-blowingly good for a fan like me, like, because it does some great callbacks to like the main theme of the original Guild Wars 1, even in that main theme. Amazing music by Michael Deemer, and also one of like my favorite card battler of all time, that the one that dethroned Slay the Spire and then Rogue Book, Metroplex Zero, is leaving early access in 4 days. So and I think we might even get one of the developers. This is a small indie studio. One of the developers on the show next week.
I'll throw something out there. AEW today just launched free 30-man battle royal in a giant football, the Jacksonville Jaguars football stadium, so you can play against 29 other players in a wrestling, weapons, anything goes stadium, and the DLC is free on AEW Fight Forever. So just wanted to put that out.
That's awesome. That is
that's like awesome. I'm not into wrestling at all, and even I think that sounds kind of fun. Yeah, that's a good shout. Any other shouts we want to give?
Is Hacksaw Jim Duggan in there? Can we run around with a 2x4?
You can run with a 2x4, but there is no Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But I think a 2x4 is one of the weapons. Gotcha. So yeah.
Marvel Snap, man. I mean, me and Ray are on it. It's a wonderful time for Marvel Snap. Huge boom. Great for creators that they're doing this drop campaign. I've seen some big time creators get so much more love and follows and stuff, and they really deserve it because they put out some really great content. Even people like me and Ray are like racking up like a couple tens of views. It's kind of awesome. But no, the game right now is just, it feels really great to play. There's a lot going on. You can earn these cards right now. And, it's the end of a season, so we're about to get a new season. It's just a great time. It's a lot of hype around the game.
They upgraded the PC launch experience.
It's widescreen. It looked like a TikTok
have time
video.
To jump into that game, but it would be fun to jump back into it. Yeah, and also, I mean, obviously, I think we're all, at least SPG, Ray, and I are all really into BG3 still, and I don't see that stopping being a thing for us for the foreseeable future.
When's the PlayStation launch for that game?
Same day as Starfield drops.
Oh yeah,
September 6th.
Well, that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have an Xbox, then I mean, why not jump into Baldur's Gate 3 instead? I have a friend of mine.
That's why they made it that day. That's exactly why they did that.
I have a friend of mine who only plays PlayStation 5, and he really wants to get Starfield, and so he's probably gonna piggyback on my xCloud for that, but yeah, he's picking up Baldur's Gate and he's been like, stop talking to me about Baldur's Gate because I can't wait for the for the release. Like, stop teasing me with it. So I'm gonna have to tease him a little bit more tomorrow, I think. Yeah, and also I don't know how I'm gonna find time for it, but I need to finish Stray Gods because that's also an amazing game. If you're into musicals at all, pick up Stray Gods because it's a playable musical that's so good. In like, the music is amazing. yeah, so but before we wrap it up completely, what do you guys have going on in the next bit?
You know what, SPG? I'm gonna let you talk first.
No, I ain't got nothing going on, man. You know what I got going on. I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah. Well, keep you in my prayers, brother. Saturday I do Wreckfest Saturday night, and then Sunday I probably might do some Remnant 2 or maybe Texas Chainsaw, and then Monday I don't know. Tuesday I'm doing Marvel Snap Tuesday.
Hey.
Loving that game. You guys make sure you follow Kurt on Twitch, because he's and if you really honestly want to know how to play Marvel Snap, watch Kurt. He's actually really good, folks. I actually watched, and my gaming experience has been really, really good. I've learned some stuff. So, but thank you, Bjorn. Panel's been awesome. Chat's been awesome.
It's been
thank
great
you for
today,
having
guys.
me here. Thank you.
I'm actually about to go live right now. As soon as we head off, I'm gonna go play some snaps. So yeah, if you guys want to jump over to Twitch, twitch.tv/Kirk the Gamer. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And then go watch Ray on Tuesday for sure.
Yeah. And as for myself, it's my brother-in-law's wedding on Saturday, so I don't know how much. I don't think I will have any time to play games for the next couple of days.
Speaking of, I almost forgot. Ray said, you said Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Isn't the community doing a Chainsaw Massacre Saturday thing? Something? I got wind of that.
I gotta talk to the person that talked about it, because he said some things have changed. But
okay,
we'll get it going. And we'll definitely include you in.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
Ray's gonna be Leatherface.
Let's go. Yes.
Yeah. I think I have like 3 or 4 games that I have gotten offers for
Ray,
review codes for that I need to stream, but I don't know when I'm gonna have time to that.
I just got to say this, man. One of your first streams I watched was you being an evil bastard in Dead by Daylight, snatching people up and hanging them on hooks, bro. So you'd be a perfect Leatherface, man.
No,
he's in that game too. He's in both games.
Yeah, nah. I actually like wearing Daisy Dukes and just running around and falling on the ground from the.
That's funny. Just jump down the well. Jump down the well. Yeah.
No, Ray's just ready for a good time. That's all.
Yeah.
Ray, can you come hang out? It's always better when you're watching the big snap plays. You're always super hyped.
Oh my god. I will try. I got a honey-do list. I'm in so much hot water right now because I haven't did it yet. Seriously, I'm in hot water.
But you were there for 6 hours. I will. So I bet. Yeah.
I am gonna watch, and I'm probably gonna watch on my phone because I want to download some stuff on my phone. So I will do that.
I appreciate that.
And Tuesday next week, we're sitting down for some more Dragonbane RPG. SPG won't be able to join us, but I think David Wilson will be able to.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and I think by then I might have the physical copy in my hand that they're sending me. So that's a lot of fun. And obviously, and then I think. I don't know when, but I have like 3 or 4 streams that I want to do on various indie games. I miss doing my first looks; they're a lot of fun. So trying to do one of those. And then I have the Taylor Swift channel, or like the Reaction channel with.
It's blowing up, bro.
Yeah, it's like
absolutely.
I think I have hit 1,300 subscribers now, and I'm really keen to. I kind of want to do some more like non-Swift stuff as well.
Because gonna pass my gaming channel.
Like two of my absolute favorite, two of my absolute favorite bands dropped music videos just yesterday, both of them. So I gotta have to. I feel like I have to do those as well. They're not like they're metal, so they will be bringing a completely different audience. But hopefully we can find some traction with that as well. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with that, but I don't know when that's gonna be because it's a busy fucking week. And next week I start working again, so I don't know what's. It's gonna be a lot, but yeah, looking forward to all of those things, and obviously, Rokk players again on Thursday next week. I think we have, as mentioned, we might have an indie dev coming on as well as some other nice people, and who knows? Maybe some of these guys as well, if they can make it. We'll see. But without further ado, let's just roll the outro. Bye, guys.
All right, bye, guys. Chat's been awesome. What's up, roster?